26 just moving past. Then the green boat, Aquaholic, the 21. No, Master Force is down the back, mate, with the white on it. So that is Aquaholic out in front. Yep. Yeah, a bit hard to pick these guys up now with the sun on the water and reflection in our eyes up here in the commentary box. But a good race on here for the win with Master Force out wide. The blue and white boat out.
Turn it up as well. New battery installed. Obviously, that was so hard.
To some H2 DAC with Jared the Commodore. As for heat.
It's not how. That's not how them early on that. Absolutely.
Then meant to come. Vidge, Steve Rarity making a big charge. Outtake Ramsey, and it looks like Brett Ramsey in the Toyota 2JZ Ravage is going to struggle to get to the finish line here, unfortunately, in this boat that is in its debut year. Still a lot of development to come for this Toyota-powered Ravage, but it was all Tate Ramsey, a hard-charging Steve Rarity in rashness for second. Then we go back to the second of the 6-litre boats in cabs. What do you think of that one, John?
Fast, loud, and absolutely groundbreaking for us to watch today. Brilliant down here at the foreshore, but you got to hand it to the Hydro crew. They really had the numbers up early on that one. Brett Ramsey, Brett for the guys in the Ravage boat, certainly not the way they wanted that to finish for them.
And the boats that will be looking for will be the flat out with Chase Hamilton.
So for the Ramsey crew there in that Ravage boat.
We've also got the Tough Luck with JD Land. Then it's Tyler Scott in the Intruder. We've also got She's a Rival with Emerson Walker. And my man Levi Witten in the Little Untidy on the outside. So conditions looking absolutely spectacular here this morning, and welcome everybody. Lots of wonderful sponsors, of course, coming on board as they do every year, but one particular sponsor that's come on board this weekend that I'm very excited about, major sponsor Evans Petroleum, in particular our man Stewie Evans, one of my very good friends, and we really have to thank Stewie for coming on board and supporting this Glenmaggie Cup event. And a good Gippsland company distributing fuel all over Victoria and throughout Australia is Evans Petroleum. They're based out of Leongatha, and Stewie and his team do a fantastic job. If you're in the fuel industry and you're not using Evans Petroleum to deliver your fuel, you're doing it wrong. So big thank you, Evans Petroleum. It'll be the Evans Petroleum Glenmaggie Cup here this weekend, and we're so excited to have Stewie on board, as we are all of our wonderful sponsors. Just to quickly run through a few. Of course, Marine Jackson's another great sponsor. If you need a Riviera or you're looking for even a second-hand cruiser down there at Sandringham, you go and see Stewie Jackson, who Stewie's here. Family-owned marine business. They specialise in the sales of new Riviera luxury cruisers and Belize motor yachts as well, also handling used boats of all brands. Half a century in the business. That's Marine Jackson's. You can't get much more experience. That Stewie doesn't look that old, to be honest. Gippsland Composites are another wonderful sponsor this weekend. Of course, Mickey Tarano, and you'll see him running around like a madman, the bearded burglar, as they like to call him. He's at 94 Waterloo Road in Yarragon, and he does beautiful fiberglass repairs and restorations as well. Some of Mickey's work is absolutely stunning, and he's actually out there on the course boat at the moment. I can see him. I'm looking down at him now. I didn't realise he's out there floating around, but Big thank you to Gippsland Composites for their wonderful support here this weekend. Harvey Norman in Morwell. What do you need to say about Harvey Norman? Everybody knows they're the best in the business. Furniture, bedding, electrical and computers. Check them out online or pop in and see your local team. They're at 232 Commercial Road in Morwell. Don't forget the canteen's up and operating, folks. I've already had the bacon and egg. I tell you what, Aaron, the bacon and egg was sensational this morning. It just got me up and going, got me about. That's what commentators need, you know. Had a couple of coffees already, so we're raring to rock and roll. And a big shout out to the team that run, all volunteers there in the canteen. Food and drinks are available. There's a licensed bar at the canteen from 12 o'clock, of course. Well, they say when the sun's over the yardarm, why not? Merchandise is also for sale in the canteen. They've got all the gear, shirts, hats, bucket hats, beanies, stubby holders and stickers. And get over there. The canteen is going beautifully. T&D Jet Ski Performance, Travis Jackson. He does servicing, repairs, maintenance and performance upgrades for all makes and models. Unit 6, number 29, Barry Street in Bayswater. You can actually give him a call on 0419 009 036. That's T&D Jet Ski Performance. Hidden Automotive, of course, Heath Hamilton. He's our man, the main man here at the club at the moment. And he runs a beautiful Hidden Automotive. And I know a lot of my friends have taken their cars to Heath when they've had problems with them. And Heath just sorts them out straight away and does a beautiful job there out at Hidden Automotive and Marine, of course. And Heath also the Chase and Cash man as well.
It's supposed to play out, but you know what? They'll get it back. They'll have a good look at it. They'll work out what's going on with it.
Thanks, Bud.
So the drivers for heat number 2
there. They're supplying the pit tractors this weekend. Farm Machinery Sales, Spare Parts and Service, number 2, Empire Place in Maffra. And they've been supporting this club for over 15 years. So massive shout out to TTMI, partners in machinery. P&D Cranes Australia, massive thank you to P&D Cranes Australia and also our crane driver. I don't know if he knows it yet, but he's working for nothing today, so let's hope he doesn't just walk once I've told him that information. But I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it is now. We need cranes to put hydroplanes in the water, and it's fantastic to have P&D Cranes on board and putting the trains in. Now, Sam Lucas has said to me many times, Lucas Tree Services, don't ring him, he's too busy. But if you do need a tree done, Lucas Tree Services, 24-hour service, 7 days a week, fully equipped tree pruning, tree removal, stump removal. You can give Sam a call on 0428 319 454. I've no idea why Sam puts his own private mobile number on there, but look him up online, Lucas Tree Services. If you need trees removed, and let's face it, who doesn't? He is your man. Vern Graham, Mitre 10, is another one of our great sponsors and been a sponsor for a very long time at this event. David Graham's the man, and he is a previous Glenmaggie Cup winner back in the day. Mitre 10 Hardware, Timber Sales, Power Equipment, Suzuki Motorcycles and Mowers. 36 George Street in Hayfield. You can give him a call, 5148 1100. Vern Graham, Mitre 10. And I reckon David might be Vern's son. That's just a wild stab in the dark. Ash Erickson at Erickson Marine, and you all know Erickson Marine down there, 79 Latrobe Road in Morwell. They do a fantastic job, and in this very competitive industry down here in Gippsland, because boats and water are everywhere down this part of the world. They do all types of boat repairs and servicing. You can give them a call on 5133 7314. There's Mr. Hidden Automotive just cruising past me right now. Heathy Hamilton, he doesn't want to talk, I know that. I don't want to talk to you either, so that's fine. HRT, oh, you do want to, oh, what do we got here? Oh, okay. Thanks, thanks, Heath. And he hopes everyone enjoys themselves. We will, mate. Thanks for all your hard work, son. This is what happens if your boat's not going. You have to bust your nut working at the races. HRT and Michael Woodbury is our man at HRT Electrical Services. 24-hour emergency support, switchboard construction, plant audit, starter communications and maintenance programs. HRT Electrical are the people that you need to see. Fantastic stuff. So, not too far away, all of our juniors are locked and loaded in the cockpits of their boats. As I said, the boats that we'll be looking for, these boats, because of the nanny state Victoria that we're in, we can only run these J3 boats. And we are racing. We're away, and it looks like a very clean start. So dock start here. Oh, no, we're doing a warm-up lap. And clock start. Here we go. So there's Emmy, there's Chase and Dad just heading out there. Flat out. You've also got Tough Luck Intruder. The Intruder a little bit slow to get away from the bank there. That's Tyler Scott. So conditions look stunning. In fact, we've just got that little light breeze coming through, and that they love that, Johnny. Just a little bit of chatter just gets the boats up on top of the water, gives them maybe that extra 1 or 2 mile an hour that they're looking for. The only problem is if one gets it, they all get it, so it's not an advantage. So let's just quickly run through the boats that we do have. So we got Flat Out with Chase Hamilton, his younger brother Cash Hamilton in the Chase and Dad. The Tough Luck, JD Land. The Intruder, Tyler Scott. She's a Rival, which is Emerson Walker. And Little Untidy, which is Levi Witten. Oh, we've had a boat go over, going out to the... Oh, that's a bit of a disaster. And that looks to me like it might be Intruder there. Tyler Scott has come to grief going out to the start line. Just rolled the boat over there by the looks of things. I'm not sure whether there's been a mechanical failure or what's happened. That's not the way we wanted to start the Glenmaggie Cup for 2025. The good news is he wasn't going at race speed, so I'm sure he'll be okay. But, that's very disappointing there. So red flags on the course. Red flags are on the course. And that will delay the start just a little bit. Wow. Well, that might be oh, no, I've seen it before. I think we saw Dave Meads' old mate, Scotty Oliver, have a crash at Melton on his way to the start line once, didn't we? Crashed into, and here as well, same guy. He's a bit of a worry, isn't he? Yeah, so we have seen this before, unfortunately. Yeah, that's a shame. I think it's Intruder. So, as I said, orange bottom, which the Intruder boat is an orange and blue boat, orange bottom, blue top. So welcome if you've joined us at home, around Australia, around the world, in fact, on GP Hydro live streaming. Big shout out to everybody that is watching. For those of you overseas or maybe interstate, you haven't been to the Glenmaggie District Boat Club before, we're around about 3/4 of an hour out of the main centre of Traralgon in Gippsland in Victoria. Beautiful little lake down here, Lake Glenmaggie, Coongullah just across the water from us. A lot of beautiful holiday homes over there, and it's an absolute playground, particularly in summer. And the club, I have to say, is looking absolutely stunning. An absolute credit to the current committee and the people that have been involved. The clubhouse, still I call it the new clubhouse. It's only been there a few years. We've got the retaining walls there now. Nice garden, picnic area, the shower and toilet block set up absolutely beautifully. And the club is just looking pristine, and a lot of hard work's gone in, I know, by the very small and hard-working committee. Spud, our tractor man, who has done most of the excavation work, and they put in the retaining walls, and it just looks fantastic. I'm sure everybody will agree that, and if you can get here, well, certainly try and get down here and check it out. Even on an off weekend, it's just a great spot to be. But particularly this weekend, it's the biggest weekend of the year. It is the Glenmaggie Cup for 2025, incorporating the NDC for hydroplanes, which will be on Channel 7 Plus and Channel 7 Mate. So make sure that you jump on board. We've got Sean Henchwood and his team at 321 Ignition doing a fantastic job getting cameras set up as we speak. And the great man, Rolfie Stanisic, who's gone global. He's airborne, global and viral now. Rolfie Stanisic, he's made it to the American magazine. And great job, Rolfie. Great to see your photos going worldwide. Don't worry about Rolfie Stanisic. Trapo's here as well. Great to have Trapo here. Lots of great shots. You need to jump on board All the Talk Photography, Trapo's Photography on Facebook as well. And these boys will, well, they just put up all of their beautiful photos just for people to have a look at, and it's fantastic. And of course you can, if you'd like to support them, you can order the photos for yourself in high res and put them in a frame, stick them on your wall, all the good stuff. So fantastic. I'm going to take a little bit of a break just while we get this boat out of the water. Didn't think we'd be doing this early, but anyway, that's the way powerboat racing goes sometimes. We'll be back with racing in just a moment.
He's going to take another win in a heat race for the National Drivers' Championship. Put your hands together for Lucky James. And that's going to leave a lonely run in second place for Dennis Pasala. Although, as we keep talking about it, guys, consistency and picking up those points is paramount to a successful. Jared's gone right, so maybe just an issue there with a bit of trim. Now he gets it settled up, starts to move around on the top of the hole there as they go over the wake from the previous lap. It's Ryan Stunnell in second and Adam Smith rounding out the field on third place.
Too impulsive coming down the front straight away. A lot tighter this time than the last time through for Jared Smith in the Too Impulsive. Simmons and Clark coming through into second position, and Adams test and tag into third as they see the yellow flag. It's the last lap up the back straight. The Too Impressive has been impulsive, so he's been pretty impressive with Jared Smith behind the wheel. Heading up there now, leading away from Simmons and Clark in the second position, and Adams test and tag rounding out third position.
He's done one club day in this new boat to the Jared Smith Racing family team. And it looks like he's going to take the checkered flag on the first proper race in anger here at the Mildura Ski Club. Ryan Stunnell across the line in the 91 for Simons and Clark Logistics out of Adelaide. And Adam Smith for Adams Test and Tag. He will take home third place. And that just shows you the development in the engines. Jared's engine is light years in front of his brother's Adams. And you can see he's won that by a good 200 metres. And look, Ryan Stunnell's not too far off Jared's pace.
Yeah, correct. Great to see the tunnel racing, though, that the guys, as you explained it.
Mark Schultz. And I have to wait and see who the third competitor is. Looks like Schultz on pole in the Artist. And away we go, Jimbo starting to up and down there for Phil Smirlick, but it's Mark Schultz who gets the best at the start. And Claude Gorman's is the third driver as he goes side by side with Ricochet. Yeah, I believe that was Ricochet in second place. And around the outside, Pro Performance, Nick Borg looking for a run as we start to glass off here on the Murray River. Perfect conditions for displacement racing at the moment with Ricochet on the inside, Nick Borg to the outside, but Mark Schultz, he is leaving these guys for dead, showing them a nice clean wet transom at the moment as he exits turn number 2. One down, or 2 more to go here on the Mighty Murray at the Millfields kickoff, and Pro Performance has right down on the exit of turn number 2. That's unfortunate for Nick Borg. Unfortunately disqualified yesterday during the time trials, and now the boat has come to a standstill on the exit of turn number 2. So down the back straight again, it's all the artist, Mark Schultz out of Melbourne, and Ricochet in second.
Out the back straight now, the old Mark Schultz.
Okay, folks.
It looks like Nick Borg has got going again. It does not sound happy at all.
100% A-OK, other than it's a bit wet and cold.
Mark Schultz is in the artist, bringing it down now.
Try and catch him and have a little bit of a chat with him once he's, obviously the paramedics need to do their job and check him out. But welcome back to the Glenmaggie Cup for 2025. Another one of our wonderful sponsors here this weekend is Addicted Marine Performance Parts. That's our man Mikey Johnson, and it's great. He is a member of the club, and he does a fantastic job with the Addicted boat, of course, with his father Lindsay as well. They make high-performance, quality billet aluminium parts for race boats, and they're also branching out into ski boats. They make cav plate systems. That's their main specialty, with a range of steering and internal fit-out components on the way. They also have access to Argo V-drives as well. So Addicted Marine and Performance, big shout out to Mikey and the team. Thank you very much for your support. And if you need some of that really high quality inboard boat hardware, Addicted Marine would not only be able to supply you, but I'm sure we'll be able to give you some great advice on what you need and how to go about trying to achieve what you want to achieve with your boat. So we send boats down into the milling area, and I think once Hilly stopped talking on the radio, I'm going to find out whether we're just turning these guys around. Yep, and we're sending these guys back out. So these guys are going to head back out. They've got the boat hooked up. They're towing that back. So that's a real shame for the Intruder boat. Really beautifully turned out boat. Tyler Scott, and unfortunately, he's had a few swims of late, so he probably wants to curb that. Stop falling out. It's a bit cold this time of year to be doing that. Rest of the field look like they're just going to head back into the pits. And before all of that drama happened, I was about to explain how these clock starts work. So basically for those people watching at home, or if you've never seen it before, or if you're here on site, we've got a giant big clock down the front of the race control tower here. And what happens is that clock starts ticking at 1 minute they start. So you basically, once it starts ticking, you've got 1 minute till the start of the race. So the idea is that you charge the start line, and in theory you cross the start line at full lick on 0 when the clock comes round for its first 1 minute. So sounds all good in theory, but I tell you what, you can see it gets stuffed up pretty regularly, and the guys that get on it can actually win a race because of a good start. So you can't afford to be just watching the other boats around you and watching where they're going, because they could stuff it up on you. You've got to run your own show with the starts. You've got to watch the clock. And come through. So boat just coming back into the pit area now. So the boat's been retrieved, which is great news. And boys doing a great job. That's Jack Meads on the jet ski. Great job there from Jack, of course, from the Bud Light Racing team out there doing jet ski duties as well. So everybody chipping in and helping here, and just having a look at the boat. It looks like it's okay. The gearbox isn't smashed up or anything. It doesn't look like it's collected anything, hopefully. But, engine is tilted right up. I'm not sure whether that's just because of the way they've towed it back in or what. But anyway, we will find out all that stuff as we roll through. But and I'm sure we're probably having a look now on GP Hydro live streaming at the boat just being bailed out there. But you see there, I don't know whether there's going to be a hole in the bottom of that boat or whether it's collected something or Whether Tyler's just managed to roll it all by himself, not sure. But we will find out. We'll talk to the powers that be and try and get the story on that one, get the scoop for you, folks. So we'll let you know. So boats head back into the pitch. Chase Hamilton just pulls in there in the flat out. Rest of the field just being turned around. Levi Whitten there and a little untidy there. His dad, Dave. Good morning, Dave. It's nice to see you today, mate. He can't hear me, or he's not listening to me, which is pretty normal for most boat racers. They tend to get sick of listening to me after a while. You got JD Land there in the tough luck. Emmy Walker there, she's getting, she's turned around ready to go. I've also got Chase and Dad just getting turned around there as well, which is Cash Hamilton. And we're getting the word. Blue flag is out. So we have attempt number 2 at the first race of the day. Boats all fire up. So JD Land, we got the flat out. Chase Hamilton. We got Levi Whitten, Emerson Walker and Cash Hamilton. So kids will be sent down into the milling area. Let's hope they make it to the milling area this time. That'd be a bonus. So just got word that Tyler, and we're still not 100%. We might get him up here. Ty, if you're able to come up and just have a quick chat with us, mate, that'd be great. I'll just see you down the bottom of the tower there. We'll try and get the inside word from the man that was driving the boat. Thanks, Johnny. Yep, so Ty's going to come up and say hello to us. He'll be chatted about that, but word on the street, he's hit a big wave. The boat's jumped up and dropped its nose in and just hooked around and barrel rolled. So not the way you want to start your morning off at Glenmaggie, but I'm sure the boat will be fine. They'll get that boat turned around. And they'll dry that boat out, get it back out. That's the beauty of these little 15 horsepower outboard engines. You can pull the spark plug out, wind them over, fire them up, get them hot. It's the best thing for them, and get going. So kids now are on their warm-up lap. And, mate, what do you want? Your parade lap or... Please, stop. green engine cowl cover. We're going to go through them. That's Levi Whitten. Then you've got the purple cover, which is JD Land. Then it's Emmy Walker. Now she's got mulberry, apparently. Whatever mulberry is, it's that colour. We've got yellow, which is Chase Hamilton, and then Rival. So, yeah, mulberry. Rival's got mulberry. That's what's written on my sheet here. So get the boats down through turn number 1. It'll be for them. So it's an interesting one. It'll be turn number 1 with the juniors and the clock starts, but it'll probably be turn number 2 for the big boats, because the big boats will get let go down the back straight away, which is the normal procedure here at Glenmaggie. I could stand mistaken there. Okay, so boats heading down now into the milling area. So the Evans Petroleum bottom turn. the bridge end of the course. Matty Walker, the crew chief for Emerson Walker's like a cat on a hot tin roof here. He's not even listening to me. Matty, you okay, mate? You're like a cat on a hot tin roof down there, mate. All right, so clock's about to start ticking. White flag is out. That is 1 minute to start. You watch all the parents here, folks. They'll all be, come on, get up to the start, come on. No, I'm not going to say they're pushy parents. But, you know, it's very important to win. Right, let's see who can make the best of this start here. What's that, Johnny? Johnny said, our flag man Johnny says they all get it wrong. He can say that because of his vast experience driving race boats. Here we go. Yeah, they all look like they're being pretty conservative. Here comes the clock. 3, 2, 1, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 6 seconds lost there, but it's JD Land gets the best of the starts on the outside. It's the Chase and Dad with Cash Hamilton. Rest of the field, you could throw a bit of a blanket over them. Emmy Walker a little bit slow on the uptake. And they head up into turn number 1 for Rival Marine. So JD has got the best of the start, and as I was explaining a little bit earlier on, folks, you can win and lose these races just from the start. These boats are what is known as a J3. So J3s have 15 horsepower outboard engines on them, and you can race up to the age of 16. So down the back straight away, JD Land is getting it done beautifully. Then it's back to, I think, Levi Whitten trying to pick up there in second place. It is. Third place, just trying to pick up, I think that's Cash Hamilton in the Chase and Dad, and then Emerson running out into fifth place. So up into the front straight away we go for the first time. Down through the Evans Petroleum bottom turn, and it's JD Land. Absolutely on the hard charge. Then it's Levi Whitten, my man, trying to catch him. The flat out on the inside there with Chase Hamilton. Then it's Cash Hamilton running through, trying to chase his brother down, running that outside line. And Emerson Walker, who's got plenty of pace. It's a shame that she was a little bit slow on the start, because I tell you what, in terms of pace, she's very quick. She messaged me during the week, Maddie. She sent me a message during the week, your daughter. Said, I'm ready to race, Bisho. She said, I'm ready to go. And she looks pretty speedy out there as well. So back straight away, and it's still JD Land. For JD Land Transport, fantastic sponsor of the NDC for the Junior Championship this year. Back straight away, Levi Whitten just doesn't seem to have the pace to be able to bridge that gap between himself and JD at the moment. And then the flat out, Chase Hamilton running up into third, down through the bottom turn. Yellow flags out. Big Johnny Cooper doing it beautifully. How's the wrist, mate? You okay? Going to be good. He's got the brace on. He'll be fine. Here we go. 1 lap to go now. JD Land out in front, doing it in fine style. Back to Levi Whitten in the little untidy. Then it's back to the flat out Chase Hamilton. Then Cash Hamilton, his younger brother. Cash won't be happy looking at the transom of his bigger brother. Did he beat him last week? In really, at the club day. So, Chase won't be letting that happen again, will he? And Emmy Walker now, and as I said, just a bit of a slow start for her. If she can work on that start, I'm sure she'll be right on the pace here, because the boat looks speedy. The boat's called She's a Rival. Of course, they're part of the rival racing team for Johnny Backer. Matt, her father, crew chief for Johnny Backer's rival racing team. Good local Gippslanders from Victorelgan. So down the P&D Cranes back straight away. And have a look at this. The move is on. Levi Whitten on the hard charge. In the little untidy now. It's going to be a drag to the line. JD Land looks across to his right-hand side. He knows he's got a challenge coming at him. Has Levi got the pace to go? I'm not sure he's going to have enough in a straight line here. And JD Land comes through for the win. Levi Whitten into second place. A hard charge there from Levi towards the end. Third place now, the flat out with Chase Hamilton just getting in over the top of his brother there, his younger brother, who's also on a hard charge to the line. Cash Hamilton into fourth place. And one of my absolute favourites, Emerson Walker now, just coming down through the bottom turn for Evans Petroleum, running the wide line. We need to tell her to get on the pins, Dad, I think. Roger that. I'll just coach from the commentary box. Best seat in the house, Hilly. Put your hands together for Emerson Walker, the local girl. She's a rival. Comes through into fifth place. Right, we're still looking for Tyler Scott to get his backside up here into the commentary box. We need a full debrief from him. So, Tyler, if you're floating around, mate. Next race on our card, folks, for Armourine Jacksons, is what? 85 mile an hour.
I think we're practicing here.
Who's practicing what?
Aren't we, Robin? Practice there.
Oh, there you go. So the sheet that's been changed 6 times this morning has now been changed again, Gail.
What?
We're going to practice.
Oh, no, we've got, no, I didn't.
Oh, she didn't put the practices in. I bet I just meant to guess that.
No, if you looked at what I gave you.
Oh, here we go. See. So we do have practice coming our way. I'm not sure who's practicing. But if you can give the kids a round of applause, they come back in. What a great run there between JD Land and Levi Whitten. Great racing from the two young fellas there. These will be the blown boat drivers of the future. What a great race. They look at each other. I reckon Levi won't be happy he didn't quite get there. That's what we like. He'd be as dirty as Johnny's undies after this weekend, I reckon. So boats are being pulled in and out by the TTMI, Partners in Machinery. Suppliers of the pit, tractors, farm machinery, sales, spare parts and service here to Empire Place in Maffra. All right, we'll take a short break. We'll be back with some practice. I'm not sure which boats. I think maybe the Always Pumping, potentially, but we'll be back with more in just a moment. Scott's calling me. I'll go and talk to him.
Clean water in the fridge too, Bishop.
Okay, as we hear one of the supercharged alcohol engines fire up, it's the Wasp coming out onto the race course. Darren Pennington, he's here to try and stamp his mark on this NDC Grand Prix Hydroplane Championship. 2-round series over 2 days, today and tomorrow. And Gator heading out as well, a little 6-litre hydroplane. Not sure who's in it, whether it's Kelvin McCanch or whether it's his beautiful wife, Melissa McCanch. Doesn't matter, they're both fast. Chatting to Kelvin this morning, they've made a lot of changes to this boat. Propellers, sponsons, so those of you that will remember, the boat had a lot of damage to one of the sponsons. They've actually rebuilt the entire left sponson on the boat, and they've actually changed the geometry on that sponson as well using computer aided design, both with hydrodynamics and aerodynamics, and they've done a lot of work in terms of getting that boat sorted and back onto the water. Kelvin said that he's very happy with the way it's performed so far. We haven't been on the water for quite some time. The Wasp, beautiful boat, formerly the boat of Bobby Fisher of Fisher Superchargers, now owned by the Pennington family. It's got a lot of pedigree, this boat, and it's beautifully turned out. Everything that the Pennington family does is absolutely next level in terms of its preparation and its turnout. As to the McCanches, the work that they do that goes on behind the scenes with these boats is just phenomenal. So Pennington hasn't had his backside in this boat for quite some time. So it'll be interesting to see. He'll want to just get a little bit of a feel for it. Tune in the boat sounds very crisp. They can be quite temperamental, these boats. Of course, they use a lot of them use the mechanical fuel injection systems, which can be a little bit finicky to get right. Altitude and oh, something's happened there. That boat's come to a rapid stop. Just saw the propeller stop and it kicked up an ugly spray there from the transom from the prop, so that boat's actually stopped for some reason. So that'll, I would suggest, need to be towed in. McCann's just cruising around at the moment, so they're probably just getting this boat settled in. New propeller on this boat. They're using a DeWalt style propeller. They've gone from the Mercury type prop to the DeWalt style. Slightly bigger in the diameter and also the pitch. And it looks as though Kelvin seen the caution flag and is heading back into the pitch as well. So not sure whether Kelvin's happy with what he's seeing either, because he certainly didn't really ever lean on that boat. So we'll get these guys back out, or back into the pits, and we'll get the next lot of practice laps going for you. So we'll just wait and see what the next couple of boats are that we're going to be sending out, but obviously we need to get the Wasps towed back in. We'll be back with more racing in just a moment. This is the 2025 Glenmaggie Cup.
Alright, we're about to get this one, A final. The Moonshine, 100% from 100% all weekend. Can Mike Godsall keep that running? To be charged down by Mark Schultz and the artist. He's had a great day, and their flag is down, ladies and gentlemen. Good start indeed. It is the Moonshine on the inside. Up the outside, about time charging hard. We've got the artist in there. Nick Morgan, the performance, and the Hybos are being left behind as they charge down into turn number 1. It is pretty crowded down there, but it is Moonshine leading the way from Nick Borg. Oh, it looks like the artist has been bogged down in the corner and Segato out there, and he's now in 4th position. About time, running on the outside, but it is everybody trying to chase down the man who has done it all this weekend. The Moonshine leads the way out in front. Nick Borg chasing down hard in performance. We've got Mark Schultz who's fallen back now. He's trying to make up ground. He's in 4th position. We've got a harvest spinner from the high bar as they head down. But it is all right. Godsell and the Moonshine. Mark Schultz trying to make up ground into 3rd position, but at the moment back straight awaits for Moonshine Racing. Nick Borg doing a great job in the 2nd position, about time, and then the artist.
Mike Godsell doing an outstanding job down the back straight. Has a 100-metre lead over Nick Borg in performance, but the artist trying to fight back. He actually got bogged down in turn number 1 and it cost him 3 positions. He's dropped back into P4, but trying to come back. Yellow flag on display. 1 lap to go, and here comes Mark Schultz trying to get down the outside, or the inside of Matt Smith out of Adelaide in 2nd place. Performance by Nick Borg as our leader, already coming down the main straight, or the back straight for the last time. Then we have Nick Borg in 2nd, Matt Smith out into 3rd, and the artist. Just watch above everybody. They got the PC9s from the Royal Australian Air Force flying straight down the Murray River right over the top of us as checkered flag falls for Mike Godsell in Moonshine. Unbeatable over 2 days, 2 rounds of the X100 Touches on our National Drivers Championship. A sensational effort, the Godsell family. Well done, guys. That's been a hard slog all weekend, but you've come through undefeated. Nick Borg, a great run in there. Final for Seconder Auto Parts, and a bit of squeezing going on out wide near the shore with Cranky, Bruder, and Lock and Load. But Steve checked out already. He's down into turn number 1. He's got a good 20 metres over Cavs around the outside. Brenton Walsh trying to go with him. But look at this boat of rarities. It just sits on the top of the water. And unfortunately, it looks like Bruder getting the worst of the exit out of turn number 1. Rarity already out to 100 metres now. But the battle is on for 2nd place. Brenton Walsh right out in the middle of the Murray River. And that looks like Ryan McIntosh in Lock and Load. Coming from P5, moving himself up into P3 now. 1 lap down, 2 to go here in the A final. Steve Rarity, can he hang on to this one and take away the 2nd round of the National Drivers Championship, brought to you by Kavanagh Auto Parts. Back to Brenton Walsh driving Cavs. Then we go back to Ryan McIntosh, then the Lock and Load, Cranky and Bruder.
But Steve Rarity in the Rastus now. Yellow flag, 1 lap to go. Steve has had an amazing weekend today. Let's see this run through this last lap here of the A main final of the 6-litre National Drivers Championship and the Clyde Lewis Trophy. Lock and Load, Ryan McIntosh into 3rd place. They've got the back straight away now. It is all Rarity in the Rastus. Still a magnificent job. There's a little bit of pressure here on Brenton Walsh in the Cas machine and Lock and Load in 3rd. So we see now Steve Rarity in the Rastus machine. He has had a magnificent Sunday to dream of here, taking out the 6th-litre National Drivers Championship A-Main and the Clyde Lewis Trophy. Coming in 2nd place, it consists of Brenton Walsh in Cavs. 3rd place, Ryan McIntosh in the Lock and Load's doing a good job. We'll just follow the field through here. Comes Jesse Freeman in the Cranky machine, Dave Freeman, sorry, and
boat down from the Gold Coast. So 4 runners left in this one. It's Mad Dog, Supernova, Adams, Test and Tune, and Simons and Clark. 2 forced inductions, 2 tunnel boats, Let's go racing for our non-qualifiers in the Sunraysia Gold Cup. The rest of the starters, they head down into turn number 1. Mad Dog on the inside in pole 1 should be able to come out in front and does so. There he gets the better of the exit. Les Smith is really good on the exits, and here we go. Drives away from Supernova. Now the twin turbocharged V8 lines itself up, gets up on boost and tries to run with Les Smith in the W82 down into turn number 2 for the first time. Keeps it nice and flat, hard on the throttle as he accelerates the 400 cubic inch motor with a clean glow on the top of it. The WA82 of Les Smith from Scotty Cleaver. Then we go back to the 91 of Ryan Stunnell, and Adam Smith rounds out our top 4 as Les Smith still, Scotty Cleaver, he's slowed down. That's allowed Ryan Stunnell to get through up into second place and gives Adam Smith a chance to have a crack at Supernova as well. As they go down into turn number 2, it is Les Smith.
Les Smith leading away. Yellow flag is out in the second position at the moment. We'll see the Simmons of Clark and Ryan Stunnell taking over from Supernova. He's now back in the fourth position. All the way from Western Australia. Mad Dog Les Smith leads the way from our Simmons of Clark, Ryan Stunnell, and we've got the Supernova Scott Cleaver. He's just a little bit slow through the turns at the moment, but out the back straight now it is Western Australian Mad Dog Les Smith. He will be seeing the checkered flag as he comes out of the final turn for his weekend here at Mildura Ski Club. A great drive indeed. Les Smith, the Mad Dog, brings it home in the Gold Cup. Consolation heat always coming through now. Simmons Clark, Ryan Stunnell, a good drive in the 91. Third place B. Adam's tested tag with Adam Smith behind the wheel, taking it over from Supernova. Scotty Cleaver just didn't have the pace through the corners.
Well, the guys down there at Mad Dog Racing, they'll be very happy with that one. Of course, the driver Les Smith, team engineer in Anthony Bertoli, Chris Drummett, and coming on board this weekend for assistance is Heath Hamilton from the Glenmaggie and District Boat Club, Mick Taranto, and all the way across from the Riverland Boat Club in Chris Phil from Berry Diesel Services. Thanks very much for helping out and bringing Les Smith over here to Mildura for this one. Lisa's up on it. Fine. And here they come, right on cue. Barney must have been listening. Too Impulsive on pole 1. Probably going to not be the first person down into turn 1, but the guys must leave him room. And that's where he's going to clean up around turn number 1. He'll gain that round back again, and then hopefully he can go on with it down the back straight. PC, bring us in.
Flag is down and away we go. It is a river start here from as we said, Jared Smith will be into the corner because he hasn't got the horsepower here, but he will hug it very, very tight. Up the inside as we predicted. It is Jared Smith in the Too Impulsive, but the hammer is down. Have a look at the horsepower now for Blake Ramsey in the Destinies. He runs outside. Glenmaggie in the B&R and Decision Quadros, but into the corner here. Oh, he got it over. No, he stays on it. Stays on it. A good corner here now for Blake in the Destiny. Glenmaggie running it third. He couldn't pull it up in time. Up the back straight now. This is where Blake's had a few issues. He gets the bunny hop, but he's got the power down really nicely this time round. As they have the back straight Destiny. Too Impulsive, Glenmaggie now takes over second position.
Yeah, great pass there around the outside of Jared Smith, but watch the Too Impulsive right up.
Rightio, folks. Sorry for the delay. Obviously, as you can see, Darren Peddington being towed back in the beautiful Wasp machine. Unfortunately, sorry, as I said on the commentary, a little bit of an ugly spray come out the back of that boat, and it looked as though something stopped turning around, that stopped turning the propeller around. Now that can mean a number of things. It can mean the engine locked up, it can mean the gearbox locked up. It could be that the engine just stopped and the propeller stopped turning, and but generally speaking they won't sort of lock in that hard, but there was definitely, you could see the spray coming off the backs of the blades of the propellers, which is Once you've been watching boat racing long enough, you can sort of tell what that spray looks like. It's sort of the water hitting the back of the blade and throwing it up into the air, which is something that it looked like to me. So let's hope that the boat is okay. So we've got boats now loaded into the water for more practice, and it is Grant Harrison in the man that'll go in as the grand champ and the main contender here for National Drivers Championship for Grand Prix Hydroplane GP1. Sponsored by the Harrison Motoring Group and Harrison Toyota. Grant, as you know, one of Australia's most decorated Grand Prix hydroplane drivers. Very hard charger, very professional team. These guys have had their problems as well. They have been breaking propellers like they hand out canaries at the Dandy Drags. Unbelievable run of bad luck they've had. He's had real trouble keeping propellers on this boat. They've changed suppliers and they're hoping for a lot more luck and a lot more consistency out of this boat. A boat that's won, I think, 7 Griffith Cups. Grant himself's won 9. I'm sure I'll get corrected on that by someone on the live stream, but anyway, it's multiple. This boat has been the #1 Grand Prix hydroplane in Australia for many, many years. If you guys want to try and take the title off him. So Harrison will just be collecting data at the moment. Blown alcohol 510 cubic inch supercharged, a big block Chevrolet in this boat. These boys have been experimenting with turbochargers as well. So it'll be interesting to see when they get their heads around the turbocharger, but their biggest problem lately has been propellers. So here's hoping that Grant and the GP1 team have no propeller issues here this weekend, and we hope for their sake they have a hard and fast weekend. So we got, looks like Brendan Anderson out on the course as well in the AMR 6-litre hydroplane. AMR, Johnny, this boat that we haven't seen before actually, so Brendan Anderson, it's going to be interesting to see this boat and how it performs here this weekend. They'll be running against the 6-litre hydroplanes. Beautifully turned out bit of kit. Very nice on the water. I think it may be running the 5-litre engine. I'll get that confirmed for you from the crew. So Harrison's still just cruising around. It looks like he might be bringing that boat back into the pits by the looks of things. Yes, he is. So Grant never really lent on the boat there, so he'd just be acquiring data, I'd imagine, for the team. They'll go back and analyse the data from that boat and make the necessary changes, because I can tell you one thing for sure, when the GP1 team turn up, they don't turn up to make up numbers, they turn up to win, and they turn up to race hard. It's a beautifully turned out little hydro, this particular boat, the AMR Brendan Anderson. They're entered this weekend both in the Glenmaggie Cup and also the 6-litre hydroplane races, 5 and 6-litre hydroplane races. So it looks like Brendan hopefully is happy with what he's seeing on the dash of that boat. So the Anderson Motorsports entry. And I haven't got a lot of information on that boat, folks, so I'll go a little bit of information gathering for you and get you a little bit more info on that AMR machine. Just looking through my list here, it's great to see Tony Murphy back in the hydroplane, the Enforcer boat. Very, very quick machine indeed. It's always a wild ride when Tony hits the course, so it's going to be exciting to see him. The 6 litre, 5 litre field looks pretty impressive actually. We've got AMR, Gator, Enforcer, and of course the Jones boys in Stampede, which are boys from over at Mansfield.
Queensland indecision. Wow, what a moment there for Jared Smith.
Wow.
Lap number 1 on turn number 2. Jumped right over the wake and just about jumped into the back of Brett Nidry's boat.
How the hell he saved that? Incredible driving there, boys. An amazing effort.
Wow.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, that was unbelievable. Blake Ramsey in the Destiny takes out the Sunraiser Cup. That is unbelievable drive from Jared Smith in the 2 Impulsive. He almost lost it, held it together. He had a great drive next to Brett Nidry, and there was some pushing and shoving, and Brett Nidry did get shoved out quite nicely in lap number 2, so there might be a couple of words about that. It was a pretty good push out. You should need to maintain your lane. But in first place, Blake Ramsey, ladies and gentlemen, in the Destiny. That was an awesome drive. From the moment the flag dropped, he was on it.
Well, I can tell you, Paul, the chairs that were coming and the running round up the top here in the VIP area is anything to go by. Incredible effort for all down there as the boat now heads off with the checkered flag. PC, that's a great moment for them.
Oh, look at that. Destiny and second place is under review. That was a pretty big shove out from my point of view anyway, but I'm not an official, so I won't make any commentary. But what great racing that was, and give it up to Brett Nidry. But the guys in Destiny, Blake Ramsey, he has had an unbelievably great weekend this weekend. Thoroughly deserves it. This thing is powered by a Brett Nidry race engine. One of their major sponsors is Lucas Oils from New Zealand over here. They're cheering him on. They think it's wonderful. So that's good news as well. And give it up for Brett Nidry, everybody. Great drive, Brett. And the B&R, he's done a fantastic job all weekend. Brent Lewis hasn't popped the hood yet into 4th position. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for 2 Impulsive. Jared Smith, he's done a great drive. Great save, mate. That was unbelievable, so well done. And of course, out on course with the checkered flag, the one that he wants, Blake Ramsey in Destiny. Winner yesterday in the Battery World National Drivers Championship final, and again today here in the Sunraiser Gold Cup. So had a great weekend. Those guys have got a big truck. They can take all the trophies home with them.
They're going to need it, right?
Yeah, they are.
Keeping an eye on Vaughan Brewer down there, who'll be having an interview with the guys in a little while. I know that he'll be itching to have a chat with the guys. So we'll just sit tight and wait. We'll keep an eye on Vaughan. The moment he's ready, we'll throw down. And I'll chuck down to you now, Vaughan, while the going's good, buddy.
I was just going to
Well,
say,
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2025 Glenmaggie Cup, and we're here at the Glenmaggie District Boat Club. The next race that we're going to have on the card, get your backside trackside, because fair income, this is going to be awesome. It's the 85 mile an hour race one for the Victorian Championship. Boats that we'll be looking for will be the Tickled Pink with Andrew Reid, Freedom with his father Bobby Reid, Wild and Free, great to see John O'Cruzic out and about. We've got the Millennium Buzzard, Infinity Racing with my old mate James Kennedy, and River Wrecker as well. So looking forward to this one. Should be a cracker of a race. Okay, so a little update. Just on that 85 mile an hour race, no Millennium buzzard in this one, so it was a false start. And the driver, River Wrecker, Matty Ashmore, so it's good to see Matt out there as well. It's going to be good fun. My old mate James Kennedy in this one, he's running Infinity Racing. It's a V6 Velocity hull. I like those boats. I've raced them a lot, Hilly, so it'd be nice to see him out and about as we see GP 101 heading out onto the course now. So Benny Clark, these boys had a huge spin at St George a few months ago and did some fairly significant damage to this boat. He was doing about 150 miles an hour down the back straightaway, and they had a steering component let go and the boat did a flat spin at about 150 and it ripped nearly everything out of it. The boat looks a little bit different to what you may have seen it before. It had all the flames all over it. Well, they've had the sponsons apart, they've had to cut the boat up, make new componentry, put it all back together, and they've done an epic job to get this boat here to Glenmaggie this weekend for this, the inaugural running of the NDC for hydroplanes. Benny Clark was very impressive at the EC Griffith Cup at Lake Mulwala in this boat. This of course is the former Harrison boat. Grant Harrison blew this boat over in huge style around about 15, 18 years ago now. Boat was severely damaged in that accident. These guys did an amazing job to rebuild the boat, put it back together, but effectively didn't have one side of the boat on it when they got the boat, and they've had to put the whole boat back together. Then they've done that damage at St George after having a really successful weekend at Yarrawonga with the boat. So they've been busy little beavers, this GP 101 team, and they've done an awesome job to get the boat out on the water, and we wish them all the best as they go out and do their warm-up lap. Ben's a lovely guy. Wouldn't pick him as a Grand Prix hydroplane driver. When you talk to him, he's very calm, very even sort of a guy, and they'll methodically go through everything they need to do to be competitive by the end of this weekend. 2 days of great racing here at the Glenmaggie Cup for 2025 and the NDC for hydroplanes. Brought to you by Evans Petroleum, Vern Graham Mitre 10, Ericsson Marine, HRT Electrical Services and TTMI Partners in Machinery, along with P&D Cranes, Lucas Tree Services and Addicted Marine. And of course, the major sponsor for the NDC Hydroplane Championship is Lucas Oils, ladies and gentlemen. So big shout out to the team at Lucas Oils. Rolf, hopefully he's watching over there in New Zealand. on the GP Hydro live streaming. Good morning to you, Rolf. So the 101 sounding good. Well, I said that about Wasp before and then it stopped, so I should shut my fat mouth sometimes. So Ben just getting some temp into this boat. Now I can always rely on my old mate Michael Platts to give me all the information, Johnny. Thank you, Platts. He's over in the Pilbara at the moment on a mine site and he's given me the tip on the AMR boat. Brendan Anderson, the 5 litre, and it's Lockie Bella's old boat. So out of Sydney in New South Wales. Thank you, Platty. Hope you're enjoying it. I do not think I have the voice of an angel, which is what he said. Far from it. But I'm glad you're tuning in. I'm glad you're enjoying it, mate. Wish you were here. So Benny Clark now brings it down through the Evans Petroleum bottom turn, and he's going to run into the pit. So you'll see all these guys. None of them have lent on these boats yet. They're just trying to get the tune right in these engines. The GP 101 looks absolutely stunning on the water. See, all the flames have gone from the sponsons. That's due to all the work that they've had to do to the sponsons on that boat. And a terrific effort by the GP 101 team to get it back out and going after that huge off at St George only a few months ago. Speaking of Lockie Vella, would it have been nice to have Paul Vella here this weekend? I might have to send him a message and ask him what his excuse is for not being here. And it better be a good one. Okay, some more boats being loaded into beautiful Lake Glenmaggie. Rush Hour now going into the water, heading out for a practice. Crusader heading out as well. Yeah, Crusader just firing up and Rush Hour heading out onto the course. So love the name of the boat, the Crusader. Dan Cruisick, one of the most experienced campaigners on the circuit. An older boat. Also got Always Pumping heading out onto the course now as well. Dennis Pasala, the cheeky chap himself, a twin turbocharged call it a blown displacement, forced induction displacement we should say. So Cruisick now, he'll be doing what all the others have done and just checking the Motec dashboard on that boat. I assume he's got a Motec, might not have. I just make stuff up as I go along, but it'll certainly be getting the information to the dash on that boat. So the Rush Hour boat running in the 105 category, Shane Archibald. It's an 18-foot V-bottom Stevens hull, formerly of Ski Race World. May that world rest in peace. Cruisick now bringing the Crusader back in the GP21. Dan, of course, the local here, gives a little wave, so it looks like he might be fairly happy with what he's seeing. Don't need to be doing anything silly this morning. Hatch comes up. Crusader back into the pits, always pumping out on the course now. Dennis Basala's really been getting a handle on this boat. He's had the boat for a few seasons now. The boat's a twin turbo, comes out of the Duggan Balancing stable and the Basala stable. His brother, of course, Rob Basala, one of the greats of this particular category and powerboat racing in general. And one of the driving forces also behind the National Drivers' Championship, which has started off with this unlimited forced induction displacement category, but now has flowed through into hydroplanes, 6 litres, bracket class, and right through into juniors now, which was sponsored by JD Land, the series at Mildura only a couple of weeks ago. Land Transport. Basala now leads on that boat. I don't think anyone will mind me saying that that boat has been a very ill handling machine of the past. Well, that is all in the past, because that boat, they have worked hard on it. It's an absolute credit to this team that they've got it so settled and going so quickly, and Dennis is driving it so well now. As he fires it down the back straight, have a look, the boat looks beautifully settled, even across some of that sloppy water. They've really got a handle on this boat, and it's interesting because his brother Rob Basala, who ran this boat prior to him, didn't really like the boat, didn't really think he was going to be able to get it to handle, but Dennis has certainly been able to get the boat settled. A real credit to this crew to get this boat right, and I'm sure Rob Basala's had a little bit to do with that as well, although they're typical brothers, they like to butt heads occasionally. Engine-wise, the thing just sounds absolutely beautiful. It's obviously the twin turbos act as mufflers, so nowhere near the noise comes out of these things as what comes out of the blown displacement engines. But you can see by the pace of the boat, it is fast. Rush hour now, Shane Archibald brings that little Stevens back in off the course. Glenmaggie member, as you can see by the number on the side of the boat, the GM11. Couple of bumps on the course just left by the rush hour boat there. Sala just gets jolted around there. One of his fillings fell out, I think. Okay, another boat just heading out onto the course. Basala's got a caution flag out on the course now. Yeah, looking like a red flag now. So I'm not sure what the issue on the course is. As Brett Ramsey won't have seen a red yet as he's facing the wrong direction, unfortunately for him. But not sure if his crew's on the radio to him. Hopefully they are, but if they are, they could let Brett know that there's a red flag on the course. Okay, and I can see the issue now. Just listening to the officials here, we've got a member of the public on a jet ski a little too close to the course at the moment. He's not on the course proper, but he's definitely a little too close for comfort, so they're just going to move him on, and then we'll go green again. Okay, so we're just in a red flag at the moment, just getting that jet ski moved on. Big thank you to Harvey Norman in Morwell. Fantastic Harvey Norman, furniture, bedding, electrical and computers. Check them out online or pop in and see the local team at 232 Commercial Road in Morwell. Don't forget the canteen's up and running now. See a couple of people partaking over there. I tell you what, best bacon and egg I've had all day. Might even go and get another one, I think. Bar opens at 12 midday. Don't forget that. Obviously, if you're not driving or racing, if you're not doing any of that, get to the bar and enjoy. There's also some merchandise for sale over there. They've got the shirts, hats, bucket hats, beanies, stubby holders, stickers. And of course, thank you to our wonderful ladies that are working. It says ladies here, but there's a couple of young fellas in there helping out in the canteen as well. So a big thank you to everybody that's helped out in the canteen. We have a green flag back on course, so Pasala now just bringing that boat. Now he backed it down fairly quickly. I'm not sure whether Dennis had a little bit of an issue there. Now Brett Ramsey over the back there in the Ravage machine. Now he's an interesting story because this boat runs a turbocharged inline 6-cylinder 2ZJ Toyota engine. Runs in a Ramsey hull with a safety cockpit, and it runs in the unlimited category, and it is FAST fast. Don't worry about that. Brett's been around boat racing his whole life. He comes from the Ramsey boat building family, and this particular boat is one of only a few actually built. Boat at the front that doesn't have a number on it. I'm just trying to pick that up. So the Ravage is out there. So just looking there, Matty Ashmore in the River Wrecker just went out and did just the one lap. Little Stevens. So Ramsey out there in the Ravage. You'll just be getting some temperature into that engine. An inline 6-cylinder turbocharged Toyota. The 2ZJ. And this boat's quick. He's done very well in the Driver Championship. Did extremely well at Windsor at the second last round. And he's been really enjoying his boat racing again. Went away and did some car racing. I believe he's still doing a bit of car racing as well. So Brett's a man after my own heart. Bit of car racing, bit of boat racing. As long as you've got a helmet on your head, you're happy. Johnny reckons it sounds weird. Sounds cool, man. Yeah, very, very low centre of gravity, very lightweight, and very well handling boat. Plenty of power. It's probably got making well over 1,000 horsepower, I would suggest. Probably need to talk to Brett about that one. We'll get him up in the commentary box and he'll give us the full rundown on it. But they've done a beautiful job with it. Now he leans on it, and it's got some snot. Definitely got some mumbo, that little thing. And as the black flag now comes out, that'll be a last lap there for Ramsey, and I believe that's our last practice boat which means we'll be moving into our 85 mile an hour Victorian Championship heat number 1. So hatch comes up, Brett Ramsey. No relation to Tate and Blake, interestingly. Did you think he was? All the girls in the tower thought he was. Well, he's not. Oh, Robin actually read the names and know that they're spelt differently. That's what I expect from people with OCD. But no, Brett Ripper guy. Good to see him here. Boat looks good, sounds good. And he'll be quick. He'll be challenging the big boys. Don't worry about that. He's been giving them, he's been a thorn in their side all season. And I believe that he will continue to be. For those of you that watched the Windsor race where no boats finished one particular heat, it went a little bit viral. He was the last boat still going, and even he stopped just before the finish line. Big thank you to T&D Jet Ski Performance, Travis Jackson Service, Repairs, Maintenance, and of course the beautiful performance upgrades for all makes and models. They're at Unit 629 Barry Street in Bayswater. Tell you what, there wouldn't be a marine business in Victoria that hasn't been in Barry Street, Bayswater at some point in their lives. You can give him a call on 0419 009 036. Of course, our major sponsor here this weekend, and we've spoken about them a few times already, and we're going to continue to, because locally owned, dedicated, supporting the locals. They provide the highest quality fuels and lubricants, BP fuels and Castrol fuels. They're in Leongatha, Sale, Terrelgan, Tura, Fish Creek. They're our major sponsor here of the Glenmaggie Cup for 2025, and the boat that's on the water now is the Red Rocket out of Sydney, I think. Is that Fury, Johnny, over there? Fury it is. Hayden Chesser, Fury Racing, Fury Marine, and we are so excited to have this boat here at Lake Glenmaggie. Been a very long time since we've seen the Fury machine here. These boys hail out of the Hawkesbury in New South Wales. Chesser Family Racing, of course. Barry, their father, who we lost unfortunately, what was it, 2 years ago? Roundabouts. And the boys are upholding the tradition, the big red Fury machine. Evercraft. Blown alcohol, and it's great to see Hayden down here. Thanks so much for coming down. Hayden, of course, is one of the High Speed Garage podcast crew. They do a great job. They've just released a new episode. I haven't listened to it yet. Jump on board when you're driving home. High Speed Garage on Spotify. Chesser now starts to lean on a little bit down the back straight away. Chatting to him this morning, he's a little bit suspect on the rocker gear that he's running in this engine, but he's just crossing his fingers. Boat stands up. Geez, driving it well too. You can feel, I can actually feel the roar through my feet in the tower here of that beautiful big blown alcohol engine. The turbos are fast, the turbos are great. But there is nothing like a blown alcohol engine for sheer excitement. And this boat, beautifully turned out, Evercraft, 21 footer. Well, hatch comes up. Let's hope he's just going back to the pits. I think he is. So great to have Hayden Chesser and Team Fury here racing. They're going to put on a big show for you this weekend, we hope. As he brings the boat back in, a couple of solid squirts. Hello, Hayden. He's happy. Gives us a little wave as he comes through. It's a beautiful looking boat. Beautifully turned out. Credit to the crew. Credit to the boys. They don't run a huge budget either. They do it as they can. They're all working hard to build the boat. They do all the work themselves and put in all their own hard-earned cash. And it's just an absolute credit to them. Probably as a financial planner, you'd probably tell him not to do what he's doing. But as a boat racer, we love what he does. Good on you, Hayden. Well done, mate. The boat sounds and looks absolutely spectacular. Thank you for coming. Looking forward to seeing that boat in anger. So 85 mile an hour race 1. This is for a Victorian Championship. So 85 mile an hour, some of you might be asking, particularly those of you watching from overseas on the GP Hydro live streaming, what is this all about, 85 mile an hour? Well, the boats are limited, so open cockpit boats, although they don't have to be open cockpit, but a lot of them are open cockpit boats from, well, a little bit from yesteryear, I guess, these days, now that the big boats have to have cockpits. They have to have cockpits if they're capable of over 105 miles an hour. So we have 3 categories that lead up into that 105 category. So we've got the 85, 95 and 105. These boats have GPSs in them, and there is penalties if they exceed the allotted speed limit of 85 mile an hour. And the reason that they're limited to those speeds is because they are open cockpit boats. So great initiative to keep these boats out on the water, but to keep them in a relatively safe environment as well. Tickled Pink is the first boat we'll be looking for. Freedom, Bobby Reed, John O'Cruzick in the Wild and Free, Infinity Racing with James Kennedy, and the River Wrecker with Matty Ashmore. We'll be back with racing in just a moment. Bismarck on this NDC Grand Prix Hydroplane Championship. 2-round series over 2 days, today and tomorrow. And Gator heading out as well, a little 6-litre hydroplane. Not sure who's in it, whether it's Kelvin McCanch or whether it's his beautiful wife, Melissa McCanch. Doesn't matter, they're both fast. Chatting to Kelvin this morning, they've made a lot of changes to this boat. Propellers, sponsons, so those of you that will remember, the boat had a lot of damage to one of the sponsons. They've actually rebuilt the entire left sponson on the boat, and they've actually changed the geometry on that sponson as well using computer aided design, both with hydrodynamics and aerodynamics, and they've done a lot of work in terms of getting that boat sorted and back onto the water. Kelvin said that he's very happy with the way it's performed so far. We haven't seen on the water for quite some time. The Watt, beautiful boat, formerly the boat of Bobby Fisher of Fisher Superchargers, now owned by the Pennington family. It's got a lot of pedigree, this boat, and it's beautifully turned out. Everything that the Pennington family does is absolutely next level in terms of its preparation and its turnout. As to the McCanches, the work that they do that goes on behind the scenes with these boats is just phenomenal. So Pennington hasn't had his backside in this boat for quite some time. So it'll be interesting to see. He'll want to just get a little bit of a feel for it. Boat sounds strong. Tune in the boat sounds very crisp. They can be quite temperamental, these boats. Of course, they use a lot of them use the mechanical fuel injection systems, which can be a little bit finicky to get right. Altitude and oh, something's happened there. That boat's come to a rapid stop. Just saw the propeller stop and it kicked up an ugly spray there from the transom, from the prop, so that boat's actually stopped for some reason. So that'll, I would suggest, need to be towed in. McCann's just cruising around at the moment, so they're probably just getting this boat settled in. New propeller on this boat. They're using a DeWalt style propeller They've gone from the Mercury type prop to the DeWalt style. Slightly bigger in the diameter and also the pitch. And it looks as though Kelvin seen the caution flag is heading back into the pitch as well. So not sure whether Kelvin's happy with what he's seeing either, because he certainly didn't really ever lean on that boat. So Harrison will just be collecting data at the moment. Blown alcohol 510 cubic inch supercharged, the big block Chevrolet in this boat. These boys have been experimenting with turbochargers as well. So it'll be interesting to see when they get their heads around the turbochargers, but their biggest problem lately has been propellers. So here's hoping that Grant and the GP1 team have no propeller issues here this weekend. And we hope for their sake they have a hard and fast weekend. So we got, looks like Brendan Anderson out on the course as well in the AMR 6-metre hydroplane. AMR, Johnny, this boat that we haven't seen before actually, so Brendan Anderson, it's going to be interesting to see this boat and how it performs here this weekend. They'll be running its 6-metre hydroplane. Beautifully turned out bit of kit. Very nice on the water. That's I think it may be running the 5-litre engine. I'll get that confirmed for you from the crew. So Harrison's still just cruising around. Looks like he might be bringing that boat back into the pitch by the looks of things. Yes, he is. So Grant never really lent on the boat there, so he'd just be acquiring data, I'd imagine, for the team. They'll go back and analyse the data from that boat and make the necessary changes, because I can tell you one thing for sure, when the GP1 team turn up, they don't turn up to make up numbers, they turn up to win, they turn up to race hard. It's a beautifully turned out little hydro, this particular boat, the AMR Brendan Anderson. They're entered this weekend both in the Glenmaggie Cup and also the 6-litre hydroplane races, 5 and 6-litre hydroplane races. So it looks like Brendan hopefully is happy with what he's seeing in the dash for that boat. So the Anderson Motorsports entry. And I have a lot of information on that. So Benny Clark, these boys had a huge... Well, welcome back to the Glenmaggie District Boat Club for the 2025 Glenmaggie Cup. And what a beautiful day we've got. And we've got 85 mile an hour boats about to head out. Barney Patterson, our start boat, doing a beautiful job. He's been a very busy little start boat driver the last couple of months, and he's got a lot of gigs on. The beautiful V7 velocity here with the V10 400 horsepower Mercury engine on the back of that boat. It's a beautiful bit of gear built by Race Marine in Chelsea Heights. Fully infused boat, and very, very nice bit of gear, and we thank Barn, does a great job with the starts. Big thank you to the Maffra Community Sports Club. They're at 122 to 126 Johnson Street in Maffra. Captain Johnson's Bar and Bistro for lunch and dinner meals. Get down there. I've been there. It's awesome. I highly recommend. Food's great, reasonably priced, and a nice ambiance as well. So get down there to the Maffra Community Sports Club for a feed whilst you're here in town. Of course, we've got the hydroplane NDC coming up a little bit later today, and major sponsor for that is Lucas Oils. The beautiful Lucas Oils. You can't do any better than the beautiful Lucas Oil product. Also, our Marine Jackson's family-owned marine business down there at Sandringham in Victoria. They specialise in sales of new Riviera luxury cruisers and Belize motor yachts. Also handling used boats of all brands. You've got half a century in the boat business, and that's just Stewie. I thought he had a century in the boat business, actually. A lot of work going on in the Sam Lucas boat down there at the moment. Not sure if any of those blokes know what they're doing. Maybe give Levi some spanners. He's probably the only one. Levi, sort it out, will you, mate? If you're not going to sort that out, come up and help me commentate, for God's sake. Righto, so 85 mile an hour boats that we are looking for. Not what? Oh, sorry, Aaron Hill's in my ear, but he's talking to someone else. Tickled Pink with Andrew Reid, Freedom with Bobby Reid, John O'Cruisick in the Wild and Free, James Jimmy Kennedy in the Infinity Racing, and did I hear a rumour that River Wrecker might be out of this? River Wrecker out, that is a shame. He went out and did one lap, hilly, and then it just stopped, and I guess that's what happens when you put car engines in boats. That's what our Southport guys say anyway. We're heading out now. Next race we got after this one is going to be our 1800 F4 and 2100 Vic Championship race. So pretty excited to see three of the best going out there in that one. Bud Light F4 with Jack Mead, Charlie Kerwood driving the rebound this weekend. He's just slid into the big gig, and Retro Waterfall, who's right down in front of me here in the red line, Little Tennessee, with the 1800cc Yamaha on the back. So hopefully we start punching through a few of these races quickly now. Apologies for a few of the delays this morning. We've had a few things that have been out of our control. So these guys are starting on a pole boat, so no clock start for these particular boats. This will be pole boat, and the pole boat is that man there, Mr. Barney Patterson in the Barn Dog, the V7 Velocity. Beautifully turned out. It's a brand new boat, this one. Barney's only just had it built. It's sporting the new 400 horsepower V10 Mercury racing engine. 5.7 litre quad overhead cam, 4 valve per cylinder, 4-stroke V10 on the back of the start boat. It is impressive. Tall, dark and handsome on any transom. Start boat picks them up. Here comes the field. The two Reid boys, father and son. Father on the inside and Freedom. Son on the outside. in the tickled pink. Wild and Free, Jono Cruisic and Jimmy Kennedy in Infinity Racing. They'll take him up the top end of the course. They'll bring him down the back straight away and they will let him go. Okay, so we swing around the top end of the course. Up through the P&D Cranes, top turn. Back straight away and start shoot for Addicted Marine. Here we go, and he's let him go. Oh, that's a messy start. I'm not very happy with it, but it's a 2 Reed boys away. 1 out and 1 back. We've got Jimmy Kennedy into 3rd, and then we've got way back in the field the Wild and Free with Jono Cruisic. But the battle's going to go on between the father and son as they go down the bottom into the Evans Petroleum bottom turn at the bridge end of this beautiful Lake Glenmaggie course, and they're away, and it's Bobby Reid, the father in the Freedom, who charges away the 4.2 litre Everingham. His son, Andrew Reid, chasing him down. In the Child's Play Hull, James Kennedy in the Infinity up into 3rd, doing a nice job in that boat. And the Wild Free, Jono Cruisic, getting absolutely pummeled up through the sloppy water left from the start there, but up through the top turn for P&D Cranes down into the Addicted Marine back straight away. It's all Bobby Reid doing it in fine style, and his son Andrew can only watch him drive away at the moment. Bobby's got 812 years experience in powerboat racing, which is surprising because he's only 300 years old. Down through the bottom turn for Evans Petroleum, he'll come through, and I think you'll see a yellow flag here. Next lap, I should say. James Kennedy doing a lovely job in the Infinity there. I gave him a couple of tips about how to circuit race one of those things. Not that my advice is worth much. But he looks like he's doing what I said, and the boat's sitting beautifully, so doing a great job there. Jimmy K in the V6 Velocity. That boat's running the QC4V V8 Mercury race engine on the transom. Wild Free. And a little bit of a bad start there for the Wild Free there for Jono Cruisic, so he's got a little bit of ground to make up. So James Kennedy there, the V6 Velocity with that QC4V V8 Mercury outboard on the transom. 4 valve per cylinder, quad overhead cam. Front straight though, it's the 2 Reed boys, and Bobby Reid still leading as he picks up the yellow flag and heads up into the P&D Cranes top turn. Jimmy Kennedy doing a great job in the corners here as he goes through the Evans Petroleum bottom turn. And the Wild and Free, Jono Cruisic. First run that I've seen him do in this boat. This boat was actually... Oh, look at the battle down the back straight. Sorry, I've just had my attention taken away because Andrew Reid now pokes his nose into the front of Bobby Reid. This is on for the last lap. Down in the bottom turn, and Andrew Reid now, but he's going to have to run around the wide line. He's going to lose some ground here to Father Bobby as they go absolutely gunnel to gunnel. It's going to be a drag race to the line between the 2 Reid boys. Oh, Andrew has a wild ride. Bob Reid is going to get there. I think Bobby Reid over the top of Andrew Reid. What a run between those 2 boys. Great effort there from the Silver Fox. Bobby Reid takes the win over his son Andrew. James Kennedy will come through into 3rd place in the Infinity. Great drive there from Jim. First time circuit boat racing. He's another one of these ski racing guys that's come over. I've known Jimmy since he was a kid. He's now a father himself. And crosses the line. Great job there from Jimmy. The boat looked as tidy as it gets. And Jono Cruisic comes through in the wild and free, and it picks up 4th place. Okay, so we swing around the top end of the course. Up through the P&D cranes, top turn. Back straight away and start shoot for Addicted Marine. Here we go, and he's let him go. Oh, that's a messy start. I'm not very happy with it, but it's a 2 Reed boys away. 1 out and 1 back. We've got Jimmy Kennedy into 3rd, and then we've got way back in the field the wild and free with Jono Cruisic. But the battle's going to go on between the father and son as they go down the bottom into the Evans Petroleum bottom turn at the bridge end of this beautiful Lake Glenmaggie course, and they're away, and it's Bobby Reid, the father in the Freedom, who charges away the little 4.2 litre Everingham. His son, Andrew Reid, chasing him down. In the Child's Play hull, James Kennedy in the Infinity up into 3rd, doing a nice job in that boat. Now for these guys, while the 1800cc boats wait for their race. So a big thank you to all of our wonderful sponsors here. Lucas Tree Services, our beautiful cranes at TTMI, tractors. They supplied the pit tractors here this weekend in actual fact. They do farm machinery sales, spare parts and service. They're at 2 Empire Place in Maffra. Fern Graham, thank you Tim. Fern Graham Mod at 10, another one of our wonderful sponsors here this weekend. Another one of our great sponsors here this weekend is Ericsson Marine. Ash Ericsson do all types of boat repairs. They're at 79 Latrobe Road in Morwell. You can give them a call there on 5133 7314 or hook them up on the Google machine. Gator now, the McCanches starting to dial this boat in. As I said, a lot of work on it. Oh, I tell you what, I was chatting to Calvin in the pits this morning. He said on deceleration the boat's pulling its left sponson up into the air. So basically when they lift off, these boats are a direct drive. They don't run a gearbox in them. So it's direct drive straight to the propeller. Now when they lift off the propeller, obviously that causes the water to hit the backs of the propeller blades, which twists the boat over, and it basically makes it lift its left sponson up into the air. So when you're doing 120 miles an hour, which is what this boat's capable of, and you lift off with 120 mile an hour worth of wind running across the decks and the canard wing, can actually blow the boat over backwards on deceleration. So you need to be really careful of that. But the boat looked light on its feet, looked fairly settled. It can get a little bit bumpy here at Lake Glenmaggie, so it was dancing around from sponson to sponson a bit, but we'd expect that. The AMR boat now just heading back into the pitch now. He came to a little bit of a stop, so I'm hoping there's no issues. AMR looks like they may have had a little bit of an issue when the boat went out earlier on this morning, and Brendan Anderson hopefully trying to get on top of this boat that was acquired from the Vela family up there on the Hawkesbury. And we are about to see a blue flag come out. Blue flag is out. So this is our 1800cc F4 and 2100cc. Now there's no 2100 boats in this. We've got one F4 boat, which is a Bud Light, Jacques Meads. Then we've got Retro Waterfall in the red line. That's a 17-foot Tennessee tunnel deck with the 130 Yamaha. And a man that's having his first drive in this particular boat. It's the Rebound, and it's Charlie Kerwood. Our cameraman Neil particularly loves this category, and he'll be glued to the edge of his seat. He won't be sitting down, he'll be on his tippy toes, I reckon, for this one. Particularly given that one of the boats out there I'm a co-owner of. Can't tell you which one. Well, you know, it's Rebound. Yeah, we're a bit brave putting Charlie in the boat, I think, because he does have form. In fact, I'm not sure there's a boat that he's raced that he hasn't swum away from at some point. So here's fingers crossed. Rebound, touch wood's never been over. Let's hope it doesn't happen. I got one of the former drivers with me. Actually watched you crossing the finish line of the Bridge to Bridge Powerboat race the other night, Aaron Hill, in the Rebound. You were driving it properly by the looks of things. Well, you made it to the finish line, 112 Ks, not bad effort. Bet you're glad you did that, because that's probably never going to happen again either. So Charlie will be just getting a feel for the Rebound here. This is a multiple championship winning boat. It has, we're very happy to say, had multiple drivers over many years, and a lot of those drivers have gone on to get their own boats, including one man that's out there at the moment, which is Rhett Waterfall, who was the Rebound driver there for a period of time. So that little boat, I reckon, has trained probably more drivers in the sport of powerboat racing than any other boat that's ever gone around. So we love the little Rebound machine. It just keeps on keeping on. Yes, thank you, Scott. Andrew Murphy, Kelsey Dempster. Obviously the man behind me here, Aaron Hill. Richard Hannon. So it has been a very epic little boat. So these guys are running on the clock. So we'll be looking for a white flag. Once we see a white flag, we will see the clock start ticking, and there will be a minute to start. Just ran through it earlier this morning, but for those of you that have tuned in a little bit later, the clock start. If you don't know what one is, we've got a dirty great clock down here in front of the control tower. It's actually not dirty, it's nice and bright yellow, very clean. And when the white flag comes out, which it has come out, for about 15 seconds it's been out, we have a minute to start. So we've got about 45 seconds to start, probably less now that I've been talking. And when the clock gets back to 0, that means they need to try and hit the start line at full pace. 30 seconds So these guys would want to start making their way towards the finish line, start line I should say. 20 seconds to start. Jack Meads, he'll be all over this. He'll be like a fat kid on a cupcake, I reckon. Starting to move. I can count you down the last 5 seconds. We've got 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4. About 5 seconds late there for Jack Meads, retro, and a good start for Charlie Kerwood in his first drive in the rebound boat. I thought he might have been a little bit more tentative than that, but he's had a go down the front straightaway straight up, and a good start by all boats. But Johnny, 5 seconds late for the whole lot of them. Imagine if you had 5 seconds, you'd be in front of those other guys and you'd be gone ski. But anyway, Retro Waterfall, he pokes his nose into the lead as he goes up through the P&D Crane's top turn. Rebound had a little bit of a hook there, I reckon, as he went into the first corner. But it's Ret Waterfall down the Addicted Marine back straight away. And he is charging away at the moment, the beautiful little Tennessee. Ret works for Race Marine in Victoria, who actually built our start boat, the barn dog machine, the Velocity. So Retro knows what it's all about. Not sure his employer, who is a Mercury Racing dealer, would be too happy with him running a Yamaha, but anyway, I guess he can't have everything. And up front straight away, he goes now the red line, Ret Waterfall, back to Jacques Meads in the Bud Light Racing Formula 4 tunnel boat. So we've got a little bit of a mixture of classes out here, and Charlie Kerwood doing a good job in this boat. This boat generally competitive in the class, but of course Charlie's first drive, so he's obviously going to have to feel his way around the boat. I reckon by the end of this weekend he'll be all over it. Quite a good little boat to drive, that one. Back straight away, it's Ret Waterfall. And I tell you what, he's going to be very hard to beat in this little Tennessee hull for you outboard lovers out there. It's a 17-foot Tennessee tunnel deck. All these boats getting fairly long in the tooth now. This boat would have run around in the late 70s. It's great that they can still be out there and competing and having a good time. So another lap ticked off for Ret Waterfall. Retro, as we like to call him. Jacques Meads in the Bud Light Formula 4, doing a nice job. Bearing in mind it's only a 60 horsepower engine on the back of these, 60 horsepower 4-stroke. And then Charlie Kerwood comes through in the rebound, running up into third place there. Back straight away now for Addicted Marine in the Coongulla side of the track. Down into the Evans Petroleum bottom turn for Ret Waterfall, and yellow flag comes out. Jack Meads now, he'll pick up the yellow flag as he heads down the Harvey Norman front straightaway. Up into the P&D Cranes top turn here now, down through the bottom turn, the Evans Petroleum bottom turn is Charlie Kerwood. Charlie's grown up around powerboat racing. He's raced a lot of boats, little boats, big boats. And we're actually struggling to find a driver for the rebound this weekend, so we're thankful to Charlie for jumping in the boat. Kim and I are both too fat and old. Well, when I say that, I'm sort of speaking for Kim, not me. Okay, down through the Evans Petroleum bottom turn into the Harvey Norman front straight away. Your race winner, Retro Waterfall, in the red line. Second place, first Formula 4 boat home is Jacques Meads in the Bud Light Racing. Great seat time for Jack. And down out of the Addicted Marine, back straight away, Evans Petroleum, bottom turn, Harvey Norman front straight away will be Charlie Kerwood in the rebound. Beautiful little 15-foot Dancraft 130 two-stroke V4 Yamaha. Rightio folks, so that is our 1800 F4 2100cc Vic Championship. Heat number 1. Now we have our 105s coming out onto the course, and I've heard a little bit of a rumour that Stevie Rumble's out in the Cut Cat. That is a shame. Not sure what the go is there, but the boats that we do have, Stampede, Paul Jones, Gator, not sure if it's Kelvin or Melissa, someone might let me know. They're sharing the driving duties this weekend. Rush Hour with Shane Archibald and Tony Murphy in the Enforcer. Sam. Geez, I need a slash, Johnny. No, I can't go now. These guys are all going out. Is that Tony Murphy's boat? Fuck. It's a thing, isn't it? Look at his nose on it. He's only doing 105. Shit itself. Ladies and gentlemen, we got 105 boats heading out onto the track now. Here's a bit of a treat for you. A couple of fast hydroplanes in amongst the 105 category here, along with the Rush Hour. The Gator should be heading out there as well. Stampede Enforcer, Tony Murphy. And we did have Stevie Rumble entered in Cut Cat, but not going out in this one. Not sure what the issue is there. We'll try and establish that for you and let you know for the followers of the Crazy Man, the Cut Cat Man. So let's have a little bit of a look at the boats as they come through, get picked up by the start boat here. There's a few stragglers and no Gator either. Stampede. In fact, they're all having to come to a stop because we've got Enforcer out the back. A little bit of a mess here at the moment. So we got Enforcer still down the back straight away. Don't know where the Gator is either there. Johnny, they seem to be missing. Oh, you're going to pick the Gator up the top end of the course. Okay, well, that's good news that it's going to be out there. Drew Reid comes into the commentary box. We're going to talk to him for just a moment while we're waiting for this to start. Not too busy to talk to me, Andrew.
Oh no, true, Big Show. How are everyone out there? Mate, that was a whole lot of fun, I tell you what.
Great. That was absolutely epic news. It looked like your father had it all over you for the whole race. What happened? Did you get the nitrous bottle down the back straightaway or something?
No, I think I just found a little bit better grooves than him and started to get through the corners a little bit sweeter. And but I tell you what, he's a hard bugger to catch down, that's for sure.
He's a wily silver fox,
yeah.
mate.
Yeah, he kept going, oh, you cheeky buggy, you were just sitting there in me blind spot, bloody waiting, weren't you? I went, no, I was driving the wheels off it, don't you worry about it.
Mate, great race. You had a good time.
Hell yeah, let's do it again.
Good on you, mate. You're busy. Keep going. Thanks, Drew. Good on you, mate. Andrew Reid, folks, driver of the Tickled Pink, racing against his dad out there. How much fun is that? His old man beat him. He's probably not that happy about that. Okay, here we go. Start boat. Start boats, let them go. Nice and early. They're away. And Stampede gets the best of the starts. Enforcer down the outside. Not the pace that I expect from that boat. Don't know what's going on with Tony Murphy. And what I couldn't pick up there was the Gator in the spray of the Stampede as they all charge down into the Evans Petroleum bottom turn for the first time, turn number one. But it's Rush Hour who will cross the line in P1 for lap number one. So Shane Archibald trying to use that inside line to his advantage, and he's going to have to in that little Stevens, because once it starts to get a little bit bumpy out there with these hydroplanes, he's certainly going to have to work pretty hard in that little V-bottom Stevens to try and keep ahead of them as they head down the rival Marine back straight away. And Rush Hour comes back at the Stampede now. These guys need to be careful not to break out of this 105 mile an hour speed limit as well. Hard on the cabs as the Rush Hour. He runs tight. Archibald does a great job. Little Stevens now comes through, but Stampede pokes his nose into the lead. I think this is Molly Summercan driving the Gator at the moment, running up into third place. So McCann's doing a good job in third place there, but it's all about Stampede and Rush Hour at the moment. Unfortunately, Tony Murphy has got no pace in that Enforcer boat at the moment. Not able to go with the rest of the field. In fact, runs a wide line. Oh, Rush Hour has a little bit of a hook, throws it up onto its starboard chine there, gathers it back together, does a good job. That lets the door open a little bit now for the Stampede as the yellow flag comes out. Gator running up into third, and Melissa McCann's looking a little bit threatening now. So up into the top turn, just had confirmation it is Melissa driving. I think Melissa does do the 105 category races in this team. Calvin will be doing the latest 6 litre stuff. Big chine walk here for the rush hour, but I tell you what folks, this is going to come down to the wire. Down into the Evans Petroleum final turn for the final time now. The rush hour. I tell you what, this is going to be a massive win for the rush hour if he can get across the line. Shane Archibald takes the win over the Stampede with Paul Jones, 3rd place Melissa McCange. What a great drive there from Shane Archibald. And a lap down. Here's the enforcer, Tony Murphy. Yeah, mate. Boy, just getting word that we reckon it's Kelvin in there now, so we'll get that confirmed. I did ask him to let me know who was driving, but of course, I'm only the commentator. And looks like Stampede's come to a bit of a stop up the top end of the course. So what a drive there, Shane Archibald. That might be his first win. I don't know. We've got his crew down here. Can I see anyone from the rush hour crew? Is that his first win? Not getting much confirmation down here, but he might have to go for a swim after that. Jack Meads, we need you down to the, what's it called? Jet ski, that's what they're called. Stampede's up and going, so that's heading back to the pits now. So put your hands together. Shane Archibald, ladies and gentlemen, well done. Great drive in the rush hour. A good win there for the Little Stevens, the Glenmaggie GM11. Okay, here we go. Start boat. Start boats, let them go. Nice and early. They're away. And Stampede gets the best of the starts. Enforcer down the outside. Not the pace that I expect from that boat. Don't know what's going on with Tony Murphy. And what I couldn't pick up there was the gator in the spray of the Stampede as they all charge down into the Evans Petroleum bottom turn for the first time, turn number 1, but it's Rush Hour who will cross the line in P1 for lap number 1. So Shane Archibald trying to use that inside line to his advantage, and he's going to have to in that Little Stevens, because once it starts to get a little bit bumpy out there with these hydroplanes, he's certainly going to have to work pretty hard in that Little V-bottom Stevens to try and keep ahead of them as they head down the Rival Marine back straightaway. And Rush Hour comes back at the Stampede now. These guys need to be careful not to break out of this 105 mile/hour speed limit as well. Hard on the cabs as the Rush Hour. He runs tight. Archibald does a great job. Little Stevens now comes through, but Stampede pokes his nose into the lead. I think this is Melissa McCann driving the Gator at the moment, running up into 3rd place. So McCann's doing a good job in 3rd place there, but it's all about Stampede and Rush Hour at the moment. Unfortunately, Tony Murphy has got no pace in that Enforcer boat at the moment. Not able to go with the rest of the field. In fact, runs a wide line. Oh, Rush Hour has a little bit of a hook, throws it up onto its starboard chine there, gathers it back together, does a good job. That leaves the door open a little bit now for the Stampede as the yellow flag comes out. Gator running up into 3rd, and Melissa McCann's looking a little bit threatening now. So up into the top turn, just had confirmation it is Melissa driving. I think Melissa does do the 105 category races in this team. Calvin will be doing the latest 6 litre stuff. Big chine walk here for the rush hour, but I tell you what folks, this is going to come down to the wire. Down into the Evans Petroleum final turn for the final time now. The rush hour. I tell you what, this is going to be a massive win for the rush hour if he can get across the line. Shane Archibald takes the win over the Stampede with Paul Jones, 3rd place Melissa McCange. What a great drive there from Shane Archibald. And a lap down. Here's the welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got 1.6 litre hydroplanes heading out onto the course now. My man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Dewey Nichols in the S15 running out of pole position. We've got Grant Harrison, he's on the far outside. Wendy Geelan is splitting the 2 ugly ones either side of her. So this should be a great race for our 1.6s. Okay, welcome back ladies and gentlemen, and we have the National Drivers' Championship, the inaugural Lucas Oil's National Drivers' Championship for hydroplanes, and this category is 1.6 litre Auslite hydroplanes. And these are our hot laps, and the man that's going to get to do the first ever hot lap is Mr. Dewey Nichols in the S15. So this plays out as does all of the National Drivers' Championship racing, in that we do hot laps to determine pole positions. So Dewey gets 1 lap to get the job done here, so we'll try and get some timing on this for you. I think Gail's doing the timing. Thank you, Gail. Here we go. Dewey Nichols in the S15. It's a Donzi Hydroplane. It's the oldest boat in the field. Dewey hails out of Lake Boga in Victoria. And he is one of the most well-known names in powerboat racing in Australia. There will be a signing session after this. Ladies, form an orderly queue, please. So up through the top turn, he only gets one lap to nail a fast time here. The little Donzi Hydroplane. What it lacks in current technology, it certainly makes up for in grit and determinations. Dewey fires it down the back straight, trying to nail a fast time. It's quite bumpy down the back straightaway. We saw the entire skid fin come right up out of the water there as Dewey turns it hard down into the Evans Petroleum bottom turn here for Lucas Oils. The S15 comes through, the stopwatches all slam shut, and Dewey Nichols completes his hot lap in the NDC. Okay, I've got an unofficial time, but I reckon I might get an official-ish one here. Unofficially at the moment, 102.87. That's what Gail says, 102.87. So that is the benchmark now, 102.87 for Dewey Nichols in the S15. As he does his cool down lap. So I believe the next boat to come out should be the Miss Hydromania, with Wendy Geelan behind the wheel for her hot lap in this, the inaugural Lucas Oils National Drivers' Championship. Miss Hydromania now lifts itself up out of the water as Dewey Nichols brings it back in. Give him a big wave. Good drive there from him. Reiterating his time, a 102.87. Wendy Geelan now, she'll come through. The Miss Hydromania, this boat formerly owned by the Pennington family of Wasp fame. Built by Tony and Darren Pennington. It's a very, very quick little 1.6 litre hydroplane. These boats run the 4AGE Toyota twin cam engine. 1.6 litre, most of them running twin 45mm Weber carburettors. There is a new engine in the wind for this category. Of course, these 4AGE engines are getting a little long in the tooth these days. And the word is there's a Mazda engine coming, so we'll wait and see on that. For Lucas Oils, Wendy Geelan puts the hammer down in the Miss Hydromania out of the Victorian Speedboat Club, Lake Eppalock, Victoria. And Wendy charges hard up the front straight away. Wendy's been coming to terms with this boat over the last couple of years, and she's really starting to get a handle on it now. So they've only got one lap to make this stick. She is chasing a 102.87. Geelan now, the Miss Hydromania. They need to run this tight. They need to run it hard. They need to make every tenth of a second count here. As Wendy opens everything up on those two Weber carburettors down the back straight away and keeps the foot nailed down into the bottom turn for Evans Petroleum. The Lucas Oils NDC. Wendy brings it around. She's a little bit slower down through the bridge end turn here. Running on a wide line. I'd have liked to have been hard on the pins there, but she might be trying to maintain some momentum here. Wendy Geelan comes through for Lucas Oils. The stopwatch is slammed shut. And we have a 106.16. 106.16 for Wendy Geelan. So Dewey Nichols remains on top of the table here in a 102.87. Rightio folks, for Lucas Oils now, we got the great man, Grant Harrison. He should be the class of the field in this field. He's chasing down Dewey Nichols' time of a 102.87. Let's see what Harrow can do here. This boat, only a couple of years old. Composite hydroplane running the 4 AGE Toyota Twin Cam. And Grant Harrison, as you would know, one of the greats of hydroplane racing here in Australia, of course the driver of the GP1. This boat's sponsored by the Harrison Motoring Group and Harrison Toyota. Harrow runs hard on the pins, no mucky around here. He knows every 10th of a second counts here as he fires down the back chute. And you will not see this man lift for anything on this one hot lap for the Lucas Oils National Drivers Championship. Oh, he stands it up, one sponson right up in the air. As he tips it in, he doesn't lift one little bit. Hard on the pins, this is how you drive him. Harrow, the man, he knows how it gets done. He'll come through. The stopwatches will slam shut for Lucas Oils. Grant Harrison comes through in a dead 51 seconds there. Grant Harrison nails hot laps for the Lucas Oils National Drivers Championship. 51 seconds, streets ahead of everybody else. And that is how you do it. Grant Harrison, he'll go on to inside pole in his heat of the Lucas Oils National Drivers Championship a little bit later on today. Next, 51 seconds for that one. Next race we have on the card are our 25 550s, and they are all lining up ready to go. Put your hands together, Grant Harrison, ladies and gentlemen. Fastest man by a mile in the hot lap in the Lucas Oils National Drivers Championship. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 25 550 boats lining up down here on the bank. We'll run through them for you. Out of lane 1 will be Tyson Heathcote in the Filthy Machine. Then we've got Taylor Jackson in the Phoenix. There's Taylor there, yes. Then we've got the Aquasonic, Tyler Scott, down here in front of me. Let's hope he can not get wet this time. Redback with Harry Meads. We've got Shiver with Bailey Canara. Hello, Bailey. They're pretty serious, these kids. They're not even waving at me when I call them out. Supernaut Harry Trimble, which is, right in front of me. There's Harry. Pitbull with Gareth Lee. Where's Gareth? He's over there somewhere. Oh, there's Gareth in the yellow machine. No problema. Guy Barrow. Hello, Guy. Nice to see you today, mate. He's been wheeled out in his wheelchair. He's got his carer with him today, so that's great to see. Good on you, Guy. It's nice to see they let you out of the home for the afternoon. Shambles, Todd Clark, and we've got TMR F5, which is my man, Joshy Taranto, in the cockpit boat there, the little F5 machine. So it should be a great race. These 25 550 guys and gals are all a little bit nuts. So it should be a lot of fun. It's beautiful to see the Phoenix. Keep your eye on that boat. It's the first time I've got to see it run. It's been a massive job. Stewie Jackson down there holding it. Nice to see Stewie's beautiful head. And here we go. Kick him in the guts, Barry, as we send him out to the start line. Blue flag. Supernaut, Shiver, F55. Todd Clark in the Shambles, yellow machine. Taylor Jackson in that beautiful carbon Phoenix machine. Tyler Scott back into his own boat this time, which is the beautiful, looks like a cell, but it's actually not. It's Aquasonic. It's the boat with the roof. We got two boats with roofs. One's a cockpit. That's the F5 boat, the TMR F5. And Gareth Lee, what's he doing, Kim? He's doing a few donuts out there in the pit bull machine. Looks like he's trying to get on the plane potentially. Well, he was on the plane. I don't know what's going on there. So it's unfortunate there for Gareth. Maybe struggling to get the boat on the plane there. Needs a tow. So that'd definitely be Kim Bull's fault. Geez, warm-up lads getting fairly willing. That's the redback Harry Meads having a big jump there, and on the inside him, Guy Barrow. In the No Problema Llama. This is Tyson Heathcote coming through. It's a beautiful looking boat. The Filthy, there's nothing filthy about it. It's clean as. Tyson, one of our ski racing lads. There's Bailey Canara, the Shiver. Then coming through on the outside is the Shambles with Todd Clark. Oh, No Problema for sale, I'm just hearing. Thanks, Johnny. Special price, $12,000. No. $25,000. No. Okay, that's Tyler Scott there going through there. That's the boat I was mentioning that it looks like it's got a cockpit. It's actually not a cockpit, it's just a lid, but it's got basically protection over the driver's head if another boat comes over the top of it. It's designed to protect the driver. There's the Supernaut just going through there as well, Harry Trimble. And then Taylor Jackson in the Phoenix, the beautiful new carbon boat out of Craig Pittard's stable. Absolutely gorgeous. You need to go and have a look at it if you can get a chance. It's the newest boat in the field. I believe Tay had a little bit of a whoopsie in it at round number 1, so let's hope there's no more of that silliness this time around. Right, I'm getting the word from the great man, the flag man, Johnny Cooper. Harry Meads is the man to watch. So, let's see if he's right. Let's see if Johnny's right. Any man in a Spinal Tap hat, I've rarely known to be wrong, to be honest. However, yellow boats go faster, folks. That is, everybody knows that. So clock start for all these boats. So we'll just run you through what the class is. 25 horsepower is for stock. 25 horsepower engines. White flag comes out 1 minute to start. So as I was saying, stock 25 horsepower outboards. The 550 category, they're 550cc where modifications are allowed. Now, the only 550 boat that I think we have out there is Josh Turano. You might stand corrected on that, Kimball. Are they all 25s other than that? Huh? They're all real stock. Kim doesn't think they are, and he's the president, so that's all righty. Well, hey, anything comes out of Kim's garage is worn out, not hot. All right, here we go. 15 seconds to start. Supernaut's looking pretty good if he gets on it here. 10 seconds to start. I'll tell you what, this is going to be a good start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. That's a beautiful start there. Harry Meads gets the best out of him. In fact, I reckon Guy Barrow probably got the best start there in the no problema. Dyson Heathcote flying high down the outside. Supernaut's been blown away on the inside there, not enough pace, and Tyler Gilligan, oh, Supernaut has a wild ride as they go up into turn number 1 for P&D Cranes. Tyler Scott has that pole position, but I tell you what, he's got the very fast Timmy Martin boats on the outside, and it is Harry Meads who exits in P1 in the red back. Up the inside now, and is that, or trying to pick it up, I think that might be Tyson Heathcote, is it? Round the outside. Harry Meads leading comfortably. Where's Guy Barrow disappeared to? Not sure where Guy is at the moment. Can't pick. Oh, there he is. He's dropped right back in the field. So the battle is on. I think that's Bailey Canara, actually. Bailey Canara's moved up into second. Tyler Scott into third. Then it's Tyson Heathcote. And on the outside, Joshy Taranto having a really good battle. Down through the bottom turn now. Have a look at Bailey Canara. He's having a real cheeky look up the inside now of the redback machine. Jack Meads. Harry Meads, sorry. Harry Meads trying to hold off Bailey Canara. Back to Tyler Gilligan on the outside. Josh Turano in 4th place. Tyson Heathcote up into 5th place now. Then it's Guy Barrow on the outside. Taylor Jackson. Then we've got the Supernaut, Harry Trimble, just being overhauled there by Todd Clark in the shambles. Oh, we've had a big wild spin out there. Is that Heathcote? No. Trying to see. Oh, no, that's Guy Barrow. Guy Barrow's had a wild ride. Hope he's okay there. He might have broken a hip. Oh, that is, he is going home in the wheelchair now. We hope Guy's okay. He's moving around in the boat all right. Hasn't got going again. It probably cut the engine out. But the race continues. Down through the bottom turn for Evans Petroleum. And it is the redback, Harry Meads, getting it done beautifully at the moment. Caution flags are out. Barrow trying to get that boat started again by the look of it. It's Bailey Canara still into second place in the Shiver. Oh, he has a wild rod. Tyler Gilligan throwing everything at it as well, up into third place. Good drive there from Joshy Taranto around the outside. Tyson Heathcote now, who takes a couple of big hits. That boat's over trimmed from Tyson Heathcote. Way too much trim in that boat for these conditions. He needs to settle that thing down. Nothing he can do at the moment as the trim in these boats is set. Shambles comes through now. Todd Clark having a bit of a lonely run but doing a good job. Taylor Jackson in the Phoenix. Running through on the outside there. Doing a good job as well. And we've got a boat pulling out. Looks like Supernaut. Unfortunately coming into the pits. So Harrison Trimble, unfortunately, he was off the pace from the get-go. Oh! Wild ride there. Tyler Gilligan has a big jump. A big fly at a hook, and that opens the door up for Bailey Canara again. So, Bailey Canara has a wild ride too. I tell you what hasn't bothered Tyler Scott. He comes back at him. Harry Meads just continues on and says, I'll take that yellow flag. I'll set off on my last lap. You blokes need to be better. Bailey Canara now. He's trying to hold off this hard-charging Tyler Scott. Tyler nearly came to grief down the back straightaway. For front straightaway now for Harvey Norman. On the outside, TMR, Josh Taranto. So a real good battle going on between these three here for second place, second, third and fourth respectively. Another little battle going on within a battle here on the race course at the moment. We've got Tyson Heathcote, the two ski race boys, Tyson Heathcote and Todd Clark. Todd Clark having a cheeky look up the inside of Tyson, who's definitely over trimmed. And you can see that's the reason Todd's catching him now. So Todd Clark doing a beautiful job, and he drives up the inside there at Tyson Heathcote. And he says, you need to trim that boat in a couple of notches, son, because I'm going to be all over you like a fat kid on a cupcake right now. Taylor Jackson now comes through. She picks up the yellow flag down the Harvey Norman front straightaway. Final corner for Evans Petroleum and into the Harvey Norman front straightaway. It's going to be Harry Meads. Easily takes the win. But the battle, and Johnny predicted it, a man in a Spinal Tap hat's never wrong, folks. Here we go, drag race to the line. Down the Harvey Norman front straight away. Another wild ride there for Tyler Gilligan and Bailey Canara, second place. Tyler Gilligan into third. And into fourth place, Josh Taranto. Tyler Scott, not Gilligan. Gilligan's not even here. Let's see Sam Smith do that. Here we go. Coming through. Shambles. Todd Clark. Good run for him, and Tyson Heathcote. Great racing from the 25 550s. How was that, Lily? Your brother drove like a legend. Yes, he did. I'll give him credit where credit's due, even if his sister won't. And rounding out the field, Taylor Jackson in the Phoenix, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the second race that Phoenix has done. They did the club day here a little while ago, and unfortunately for Taylor, she had a little barrel roll, so a little bit of a better outcome this time around. You just don't know how some of these boats go over. No, don't go over, Johnny. It's unbelievable. But they're brave drivers. They're braver than Grand Prix hydroplane drivers like Tom Heffernan. So Tyler Gilligan, he'll be happy to be up and alive and dry. Tyler Scott, sorry, keep saying Gilligan. So good drive there from him. That got a bit loose. All right, we'll be back with more racing in just a moment. Three, two, one, go. That's a beautiful start there. Harry Meads gets the best out of him. In fact, I reckon Guy Barrow probably got the best start there in the no problema. Tyson Heathcote flying high down the outside. Supernaut's been blown away on the inside there. Not enough pace. And Tyler Gilligan, oh, Supernaut has a wild ride as they go up into turn number one for P&D Cranes. Tyler Scott has that pole position, but I tell you what, he's got the very fast Timmy Martin boats on the outside, and it is Harry Meads who exits in P1 in the red back. Up the inside now, and is that, or trying to pick it up, I think that might be Tyson Heathcote, is it? Round the outside. Harry Meads leading comfortably. Where's Guy Barrow disappeared to? Not sure where Guy is at the moment. Can't pick. Oh, there he is. He's dropped right back in the field. So the battle is on. I think that's Bailey Canara, actually. Bailey Canara's moved up into second. Tyler Scott into third. Then it's Tyson Heathcote. And on the outside, Joshy Taranto having a really good battle. Down through the bottom turn now. Have a look at Bailey Canara. He's having a real cheeky look up the inside now of the redback machine. Jack Meads. Harry Meads, sorry. Harry Meads trying to hold off Bailey Canara. Back to Tyler Gilligan on the outside. Josh Taranto in fourth place. Tyson Heathcote up into fifth place now. Then it's Guy Barrow on the outside. Taylor Jackson. Then we've got the Supernaut, Harry Trimble, just being overhauled there by Todd Clark in the shambles. Oh, we've had a big wild spin out there. Is that Heathcote? No. Trying to see. Oh no, that's Guy Barrow. Guy Barrow's had a wild ride. Hope he's okay there. He might have broken a hip. Oh, and he is going home in the wheelchair now. We hope Guy's okay. He's moving around in the boat all right. Hasn't got going again. It probably cut the engine out. But the race continues. Down through the bottom turn for Evans Petroleum. And it is the redback, Harry Meads, getting it done beautifully at the moment. Caution flags are out. Barrow trying to get that boat started again.